Hello there everyone, Ash and Flash here, and welcome on into my spoiler review for the latest installment into the MCU, Ironheart. And we'll do what we always do. We have non-spoilers, spoilers, and then Lego talk. What did Lego do and what could Lego do in the future? So let's go ahead and start with non-spoilers. I liked it. I did. I enjoyed it. I think that I was not going into this at all expecting to like it at all. Like, I just was expecting this to not be good because of how this was so poorly marketed. Like, non-existently, and then really forced and fake with the Robert Downey Jr. stuff and the fake phone calls and him clearly just being paid for basically filming a cameo. So that was not great. However, the actual show, I quite enjoyed it. I liked the characters. I liked how it really tied into the whole MCU, or at least the start of the MCU, which I thought was really interesting. But let's go ahead. I can't. What I want to talk about is all spoilers, so we'll just go ahead and talk about this now. But I liked the connections to the first Iron Man. I thought that was really great. I don't remember if I knew this from a leak or something. I can't recall, but I just remember there were some lines said by John or what was it, Joe or whatever at the time. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm pretty sure this is Obadiah Stane's son. This is prior to the little baggy reveal. And then it was, which was great. And I liked the connections to that. I liked hearing more about the public perception about, oh, people actually liked Obadiah Stane and that they covered it up with the plane crash and everything like that. Maybe that's said in some graphic novel or book or comic or something connected to the MCU. But I liked how he portrayed his connection to Obadiah Stane, this character who appeared in the first ever MCU movie and has appeared in some other things here and there. But I liked the references there. I thought that was really great, and the impact that we had here. I think that's one of my favorite things about, well, maybe it got a little redundant, but with the Spider-Man films and the connections there to Tony, I thought was great. And here we are again, years later, having this other connection, which is really interesting. And just his obsession with tech and all that, I thought was really fun, and his connection to Riri. And specifically with Riri, I thought, people making fun of her performance, I thought she was great. I thought she was very likable. I don't really remember her that much in Black Panther. I only remember the Lego set more and the suit and all that. When they said a line, I think it was last night, talking about how she started this war between all these nations, and I'm like, I vaguely remember them wanting to kill her, and then they were protecting her. But again, I maybe should have watched it again for this, but I don't feel like it was that impactful. They don't mention it too much. I thought maybe they would have talked about how, again, reiterating that she had to leave the suit behind and different things like that. But I also just really liked, while we're talking about MCU connections, the fact that Jim Rash, who first appeared in Civil War and then returned here for just a little bit, but would have been nice to have more of him, I think, if she was still based, actually on campus a bit more at MIT. But anyways, I really liked Riri and just her intelligence. I think the suits and the montages and different things building that was a lot of fun, especially in the final episode. I really, really liked the fact that with the imbuing of magic and everything, I thought that was just so cool. And Zelma, although only being introduced in the back half of the season, I really liked her. Like, was probably the most enjoyable side character, I'd say. And I do want to see more of her, whether in a Strange Academy or something like that would be really great. Also, I just really love the physical suits with Riri. That was just such an improvement than all the nanotech that we've been getting for not just Iron Man, but even other people now too, like Ant-Man and different things. I'm just tired of it. This was such a nice reminder of like what we used to get. And I think that for the most part, the CGI on the suit looked really, really great. I really don't understand, and I know a lot of people are quick to correct this when people are saying, oh, Tony Stark wouldn't have left that guy there to die. He doesn't kill people. How do you say that? Like, did you not watch the first film? Like, it's baffling to me. I think it's really just crazy. Unfortunately, this show, like a lot of the other MCU shows, just has another bland finale. And I don't know if it was necessarily all of the finale, but I feel like 5 and 6, it just sort of crumbled and fell apart, in my opinion. Like, I don't really get that fight in the diner. I get that they just need an action sequence. I don't know how Riri is fighting against some of the most skilled fighters from Madripoor or whatever it was when they talked about it in the first week about recruiting them. How would she be fighting all these criminals and everything? Actual killers. It just made no sense. And here's the thing. Now I'm going to be called a hypocrite because I was talking about how people were overreacting about Riri letting the one guy die, but then Tony kills a bunch of people. Well, in Iron Man 3, Tony fights a bunch of people and skilled assassins and different things and mercenaries. Yes, he does, but he's not doing that hand to hand. He has and went out and created a bunch of different items and tools and gadgets. And Riri, she uses stuff in the kitchen, but she literally does some hand to hand combat with them, which makes no sense whatsoever. The finale as well, that final fight, it was a bit rushed in my opinion, and it just kind of felt like out of nowhere. I feel like the fight just could have been more visually interesting instead of just, I don't know, it all being solved with a hologram. Even the fight with like Ezekiel, like I thought that would have been more interesting with just all the tech that he's got in him. So I feel like, I don't know, that was just sort of and the stuff about the Hood controlling Zeke as well was just the acting there. I really like Alden Ehrenreich, but it was just a smidge over the top with the eating and the actual physical being controlled, and the amount of times that he was like still fighting him about like, all right, follow me. He's like, you think that I'm gonna fall? And then he actually follows him. It's like they did it multiple times, and it was the same, in quotations, joke. So I don't know. I think the show could have been shrunk down a bit more, maybe 4-5 episodes, trim it down a bit. Don't release these episodes in 3 chunks, only 2 weeks. It leaves no chance for there to be any sort of momentum. Next week, no one's going to be talking about the show anymore. But also, I think, expand, and let's see where this story goes here at the end, because that was really fascinating about just Natalie being back, the implications there. Like, we may never have that story resolved, which is a real shame, I think. But also, when it comes to the Hood, I really enjoyed, and obviously there's been so many leaks and rumors featuring the fact that it's Mephisto pulling the strings and everything here, but I loved when they talked about Dormammu. All that. I thought was really funny, because they thought, just by the descriptions of the scales and everything, that Zelma was like, oh, yeah, Caecilius from Doctor Strange. So that connection was really cool too. And the drawing of Dormammu and all of that was so fun. But then me sitting there being like, no. You see, I know it's Mephisto, not just because of the casting for Sacha Baron Cohen, but also just everything that has happened to this point. It's been about making deals, and that was really cool. Like, if you look at everything the Hood did, it was all about signing away stuff, making deals, and then, of course, at the end, making a deal with the devil that you see the Hood make, and then Riri as well, which I thought was really interesting. That reflection on that spoon for his true form, incredible shot. I'm excited to, like, I don't think we'll get a continuation of this, but I do want one. Like, I want to see, like, what the Hood is trying to do. Obviously, get his hood back, but also, like, what was the cost for Riri? And I'm excited. I just want to see more of this. I want to see it connect to even having Doctor Strange or Wong or something with Strange Academy appear. Heck, even Agatha, Wiccan. Like, there's so much that they could do here. I really like the magical stuff being infused with the tech. I want more. I really do. And I really want to see Mephisto in his final form. Whether it's Doctor Strange 3 or a Ghost Rider project or something, I really am looking forward to more things, hopefully, with him. Lego talk, though, we got absolutely nothing, which is such a shame, if I'm being honest, because I think that whether it was the different suits that she had, the first one or the second one or the third one that she had, which, by the way, is really interesting if you think about it, because Iron Man also had only 3 suits in his first film. But anyways, if we were to get something, I think it would have been in a Marvel Series 3. In September, it is sort of now become a tradition of this bi-yearly thing where we get a Marvel minifigure series, and it's now rumored to be a Spider-Verse series and not a Marvel Studios Series 3, which is a shame, because I think that there's still a lot of missing people, and from recent shows and different things, especially with Daredevil, would have been really cool to be getting some of those characters in a Series 3. I think that the Hood probably could have appeared there as well with Riri in the final suit. Would have been cool with all the magic and everything. And then, obviously, I want Mephisto at some point in his more final form, but we'll have to wait and see. I mean, for now, we've just got this incredible Lego figure from Fortnite, which I just really want to put in my thumbnail for this video. I'll probably update it in like a few days after people have had a chance to watch this. But anyways, everyone, be sure to subscribe, turn the bell notification so you don't miss out on future Marvel MCU reviews. And if you want to, you could check out a playlist of all the previous stuff that we've talked about here on the channel. And next up, we'll be looking at Fantastic Four First Steps. So don't miss out on that video. But I hope you guys did enjoy this review. Hope you all have a great day. I will see you all in the next one.